How's it going, guys? Coss Gamer here, and you know what? I talked about in my last video about how I went back to look at some classic PlayStation 2 games, and afterward I decided to take it back even further, to where it all began. That is, with me in video games anyway. As you can expect, as a mere child of the 90s, it was a magical moment, gazing at the wonder of a video game for the very first time. We all had it, that first video game that pushed us out of the vagina of ignorance to a brave new world. For me, it came in the most unimaginable sight I have seen to this day. An orange marsupial wearing jorts. Nothing but pure poetry. Now, I'd like to say that I played some of the classics of the 90s, but I wasn't a very open-minded gamer back then. So rather than playing stuff like Metal Gear Solid or Ocarina of Time, I was stuck playing what my tiny little mind could understand. That being film and television. Which brings us to the king of entertainment and manipulation, Disney. Back in the day, I loved Disney, and you know what? I still do. Love the films, love the shows, and yes, love the games. But can these games still hold up today? Or will they only serve to remind us of grimmer times? So let's take a look at some of them today. Here are some of my most memorable Disney games. Let's start off with a kick-ass game to a kick-ass film that I am fully aware has a lot of force to it. This is Hercules. Talk about starting off with a good one here. Disney's Hercules is a pretty basic game to understand. Like the 16-bit Aladdin and Lion King games, Hercules plays in a similar way, but because this is running on the PlayStation 1 and PC this time around, the visuals are a lot more animated. Granted, it does look weird having 2D sprites in a 3D environment, almost like you're playing Paper Mario, but you get used to it. The game's pretty easy to pick up, speaking as someone who played this around age 6. Hercules stabs, punches, swings, lifts his way past glass birds, centaurs, harpies, skeletons, and all sorts of mythological creatures. What's different from most old 2D games is that the levels vary from you either playing in a normal 2D level or a rush level that has you running past obstacles. While these levels are fun, it's a shame they take away from those that let you explore and set your own pace. Out of the 10 levels in the game, only 3 are normal side-scrolling ones, which really sheds some light on the game's biggest weakness, that it's kinda short. One hilarious thought that came to mind is that almost every item is a Hercules product. I'm not kidding, you got Hercules action figures that expand your health, vases with Hercules' face on that act as lives, Hercules drinks that restore health, which he mentions every time.
Hercules! 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 Hercules!
Hell, he'll even pull out a Hercules after he's finished a level, as if he's promoting it to us. Man, can you imagine what it'd be like if Kratos just started promoting products after being a boss? You can also collect power-ups like a Thunder Sword, a Fireball Sword, and even a Sonic Sword. Really? A Sonic Sword? Who in their right mind would think it'd be a smart idea to combine a sword with Sonics? That just... come on, that's just ridiculous, I mean... Oh wait. The boss battles are pretty basic. There's not much of a challenge to be found in fighting them. The one exception is the Centaur, who has a pretty neat music track to his fight, as well as a satisfying ending. My favourite level is the Big Olive, mostly because it's the longest and has the most detail put into it. However, I have to ask, what the hell is up with these people trying to hurt me? You've got cats on fire, ladies causing earthquakes, and crazy arseholes trying to run into you. The only people helping me out are these street salesmen who just give me money and health for free. I'm not sure that's a very good business practice. So in short, I'd say it's a rather fun game that looks and plays nice. Just don't be surprised if you manage to beat this game in less than 2 hours. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? As we look at the microscopic world of Pixar's A Bug's Life. This game is, well, not really regarded as being that good. I think most of the complaints come from the fact the levels have not aged gracefully, and I'm inclined to agree, but I think there's still a lot of unique things to be found within the gameplay here. The game has you play as Flick, trying to reach a certain goal that mostly involves reaching an endpoint that you can see from a telescope at the beginning of each level. There are some levels that change things up, like one where you have to find the rest of the circus bugs, and another where you have to find the parts of the bird. Why they're this small, I have absolutely no idea. You also have separate boss fights that are pretty okay, where you have to upgrade yourself before you can start damaging them. The way you reach your goal is mostly by planting seeds to grow different types of plants. And there are a lot of them, although that doesn't mean that they're all very useful. The red and green seeds are really the only ones that you need. To unlock more, you have to find coloured coins so that you can basically upgrade them. So level 1 for a red seed is a mushroom, level 2 is a fan thing, level 3 is a dandelion, and level 4 is a holy shit, what is that? In each level, you also have 3 side missions that you can complete. These are collecting 50 grain, collecting letters to spell Flick, and having killed every enemy with gold berries or the harvesting machine to gain gold berry tokens. That last one does sound a little genocidal to me. In fact, the insects in the film are shown as a cooperative community of mixed species, but in the game, if you even look at me the wrong way, your ass is grass. I'm disappointed there's not much reward for completing the side tasks. However, every time you complete a level, you get to hear this.
Oh yeah!
I don't really know what it is, but the way that one line is used...
Oh yeah!
I really hope I'm not alone in this, but come on, that belongs in an Austin Powers movie.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
After having to listen to this after every level, I just started integrating it into my everyday life.
Guys, guess what?
What is it, Dad?
Spider-Man's going to be in the Avengers!
Oh, yeah! So does A Bug's Life still hold up today? Not really. There are some interesting gameplay mechanics here and there, and some iconic moments from the film, but for the most part, it's just a very cluttered game. Let's switch back now to the 2D side of Disney with a 3D game that plays like a 2D one, except for the most part, because it's either different... Okay, whatever. This is Tarzan. Just like Hercules, it's a child favourite film of mine. Could it possibly have something to do with the male power fantasy of saving a female while also being seen as an outcast, as well as being totally ripped? Possibly. What helps about Tarzan though is that he's a lot more definable than Hercules, and this game does a good job at giving you the full Tarzan experience. Swinging on vines, jumping off waterfalls, sliding down unusually long trees, fighting leopards, it's pretty much all there. I'm not gonna lie, it feels great as Tarzan, however there's one little thing that got to me a bit. Being in the jungle you have to face a number of dangerous animals, baboons, rhinos, crocodiles, and those arsehole eagles who just won't go away. But you also have to face off against the terror that are tiny little cubs, lemurs, armadillos, and other small harmless creatures. Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable with killing those last ones. Sure, they turn into butterflies, as you do, but come on, some of them are just hanging around playing. But no, for it is the law of the jungle to stab animals in the butts. And now I feel terrible. Thanks, Tarzan. Another thing this game has over Hercules is that there are more levels, and you're free to play them again if you like. The jungle itself makes for some colourful levels, along with some great music to boot. Favourite level for me has to be the Trashing Account one, just for the upbeat vibe that was also in the film. I should also mention that for some reason, for the last two levels before the final boss, they have you break off the 2D plane to move around freely. This kind of sucks. Aiming attacks becomes too difficult, and at points it's even impossible to see if something's about to hit you. I don't get it, was it really that hard to design these parts of the film like, oh, I don't know, the last 10 levels I've been playing up to this point? Despite the slight hiccup towards the end, this is still a great game that fits well with the film and does a good job to put you in Tarzan's shoes. Or, you know, something like that. Next game. Alright, here we go. A real classic this time around. Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. This is one of the first games that got me hooked on it just from the commercial alone. Here, take a look.
Where's that little sweetheart? Come here! Let him give you a kiss!
Wouldn't it be cool to be Buzz Lightyear?
Hell yeah!
Now you can be Buzz in the new Toy Story 2 video game. Use lasers and whirling torso spins to save the day. Jump, swing and somersault through the air with a special rocket jet and moonspring boots.
There you are!
Haha, take that, loving relative. Screw you in your supportive
In the new
ways.
Toy Story 2 video game, you are Buzz Lightyear. Life is good.
Woo, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bitches! In all seriousness, this game was really awesome back when I was a kid. Along with Croc 2, it was also one of the games that taught me that buying the PC version of a platform in the 90s was a terrible mistake. The gameplay is very similar to A Bug's Life, however there is a lot more to it this time around. For starters, unlike the other games I've talked about, there's no end goal to each level. Instead, your goal is to collect tokens which can be obtained through 5 different means. Those being collecting 5 small toys hidden around the level, winning a race or time trial, collecting 50 coins per ham, beating a boss who was mostly at the highest point of the level, and finally, a mystery token. The game also looks a lot better. It's really fun exploring familiar locations like Andy's house and Al's toy barn. I will say, it is questionable what kind of dangerous stuff is just left around. Hell, just look at Andy's garage with saw blades and drills left around. One of the neat additions to the game is that Buzz can also unlock new equipment by returning body parts to Mr. Potato Head, such as rocket boots, grappling hooks, and disc launchers. This means that some tokens are inaccessible until you've unlocked that piece of equipment later on. And that's really all there is to say about it. Out of all the Disney games, this is probably the most open out of all of them, and playing as a walking Swiss Army knife is a lot more cooler than playing as a simple ant. So it turns out playing as a toy of Buzz Lightyear is actually pretty cool. If only we could play as the real Buzz Lightyear. If only Disney could have shown us a brand new world that explored the many adventures of Buzz Lightyear. But sadly, life is just not that.
These are the adventures of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, shortly after the release of Toy Story 2, Disney developed a TV show based around the fictional world, or universe in this case, of Buzz Lightyear and his fight with Emperor Zurg. Looking back at the show, it was actually pretty kick-ass and a lot of fun. Kind of like a Star Wars adventure TV show. Except, you know, done right. But enough about the show, let's talk about the game based on it. As living Buzz Lightyear this time, he was sent on missions to various planets to capture villains, most of them being prominent in the show. The concept is pretty easy to understand. Let me start from the top. Your goal is to race the villain to the end of the level and then fight them. It's that simple. Oh, and also if the villain gets there first, you have 20 seconds to catch up. If you get there first, the boss becomes a bit easier. Oh, there's also money to pick up to spend on different weapons. Oh, and also he has gadgets to help you cut down on time, and... You know what? I'm starting to think this isn't as simple as I originally thought. One of the main problems with this game, besides it getting very repetitive sometimes, is the fact that everything is just you rushing along. Your attention is always on staying ahead of the villain, which I guess helps in a way because it distracts you from the rather bland level design in this game. The only levels that really change things up is the third level that has you on a hoverboard the whole time, and one of the last ones towards the end which has you destroying hordes of enemies to proceed to the next room before a bomb blows up. Oh yeah, that's another thing. One of the objectives you need to take care of is destroying bombs placed throughout the level that start to tick down once the boss runs past it. If they reach 0, the planet blows up and it's game over. Now I know what some of you are thinking, why would Zurg's henchmen arm bombs that will likely end up blowing themselves up as well? But I think the better question is, why the hell is Zurg setting them up on the final level, which is his home planet? I don't think he's thought the idea through very well.
Your Empress, some of the workers, including myself, have been wondering why have you placed bombs around the planet? That doesn't seem so safe. You fools! Once the bombs go off, Buzz Lightyear will be destroyed forever, and nothing will stand in my way for evil galactic takeover! Yes, sir, but wouldn't that also include taking out a huge portion of your evil empire? Including potentially yourself?
Oh shit. To unlock new planets, you need medals that are earned from such things as collecting LGMs and a certain amount of money in the main levels. You also have side missions where you have to collect parts of Buzz's squadmate XR, as well as time trials. The boss battles are all the same, just destroy the shield with the gun matching that shield's colour, and then just finish them off. That's it. The only one that tries something new is the final boss fight with Zurg that has 2 stages to it, with you mostly trying to collect money to buy guns. It's not as cool as it sounds. On the whole, this game's just pretty standard. It's not bad per se, just a little repetitive. And there you have it, my friends. 5 Disney games that are all very different from one another, and not too bad, I must say myself. If there are any Disney games you want to see me talk about next time, let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in, and just remember, the mouse is always watching. Sleep well.